and as you know, lawyers cost a lot of money, but there are ways to get around it.
What's up? Bailey here, and for those who don't know me, I'm a virtual assistant, OBM, and mentor for people who want to start their own virtual assistant business. I left my toxic 9-to-5 over 3 years ago, and since then have built a business that I'm proud of, that provides me the freedom that I desire, and that pays the bills to boot. And I'm here to show you how you can do it too. This is going to be one of my favorite videos. I already know that, and that's because I get to talk about two of my favorite things: how to start a virtual assistant business and how to do so on a budget. Now, if you know me in real life, you will know that I am, let's go with frugal. I love saving money. I love learning about finance and investing, and I regularly budget. Now, do I always stay on budget? That's a topic for another day, but the point is this. It is going to be a great video, and by the end of it, you will know not only how to start a virtual assistant business, but approximately how much it will cost and the ways to keep costs down.
I'm going to share the steps, order, and approximate cost it will be to start a virtual assistant business. Keep in mind, this is from my experience and opinion, and everyone is different, but this is true to what I did when I first started. Step 1, create your business name and logo. Creating your business name shouldn't cost you anything except maybe a few hours of your time to determine your name. For some people, it won't even cost them their time because they already know what they want, and if you do, I applaud you. If you don't, that's okay. It took me over a week to find the perfect business name, but I have no regrets. Now, onto the logo. Again, if you feel that you're fairly good at design, this might only cost you a few hours of your time on Canva or Adobe. But if you don't have a designer bone in your body, like myself, I recommend that you hire a graphic designer. Now, the costs for these can range from affordable to break the bank, and I will say that having a good logo is important for a business and not something I recommend changing often, or ever. The cheapest way to find someone to design your logo is to offer a service swap. This is usually done with a newer graphic designer that wants to build up their portfolio, and so you will agree to swap a service with them so that no money changes hands, but you will both dedicate time and maybe a testimonial. Next, you can use Upwork or Fiverr, as there are graphic designers there that fit all different kinds of budgets, styles, and needs. Keep in mind that you might have to take a bit more time communicating your vision and deep diving into it versus a more experienced designer, but if it gets you the logo of your dreams, it's worth it. You can also contact students that are in a graphic design program at your local college or university and see if they would do it for a student or a reduced fee. Overall, your logo can cost anywhere between $100 and $500 depending on the method that you choose. It can also be free if you do the service swap. Once you have your business name and logo, it's important to make things official and register your business. This is the only part of the process where not a lot of things can get discounted, I'm afraid, because it's with the government, state, or local agencies. You could ask them for a discount, but I'm not sure how well that would go over. In terms of cost, that varies through provinces in Canada and states in the USA, but generally you are looking at between $250 and $500 when all is said and done. So let's see where we are after that. After the logo and registration, we're around $350 on the low end and $1,000 on the high end for starting a business, but there is more to come. A lot of the next tasks really just take up your time, but as you become a business owner, you will realize that your time is your biggest asset and sometimes more valuable than money. I was going to add in the calculation of your time on this video, but that's just my nerd side talking and I decided to leave it out. Although, if you want to learn more about how I calculate that, let me know and I can do so in another video. After your business name and registration, you should start thinking about the services you would like to offer and to whom. This part doesn't cost anything monetarily, but don't spend more than 2 to 5 hours of your time on this. It will likely change over the years anyways. Next up, we're going to start setting up your business for launching, and then we get into the good stuff, marketing. When I say setting up your business for launching, I'm more talking about making sure that you have a contract and processes in place to take on clients. A contract can be a big expense because it should be reviewed by a lawyer, and as you know, lawyers cost a lot of money, but there are ways to get around it. You can purchase standard templates off the internet that are usually around $50 to $200, but keep in mind that if you make changes and you don't have a lawyer review it, You might be liable in a lawsuit. You can also purchase a ready-made contract from other virtual assistants who have them available, and again, that can range from around $49 to $149 on average. To put things into perspective, if you were to get a contract created by a lawyer, it will cost at least $500 to get started, and likely around $2,000 by the time it's complete. If you just have them review it, it can be anywhere between $250 and $500. Like I said, contracts aren't cheap, but they're also not something to be messed with. $500 now could save you from a $50,000 lawsuit in the future. Let's check in on our budget. We're now up to $400 on the low end, $1,750 in the middle, and $3,500 if you were to get your contract completely done from a lawyer. Fortunately, we don't have much more to do before you have your own operational virtual assistant business, and then the real fun begins. You know it doesn't cost anything? Hitting that like button for the YouTube algorithm. If you like what you see, then please go to the corner and hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. You should also have some systems in place for taking on clients, signing a contract, invoicing system, and a project management tool. Fortunately, all of these items can be free if you know which ones to use. I recommend using Wave apps for your invoicing, as it doesn't charge you anything to create invoices, but it will take a percentage from the payment processor that you choose. Normally 2.9% plus 30 cents per transaction, which is the standard. For a project management tool, you can use Asana or ClickUp. They both have free plans, but they are restricted to a certain number of clients. However, once you reach that threshold, chances are you will be able to invest more money into the business anyways. You can use HelloSign to send over your new contract for clients to sign. They allow up to 3 contracts per month for free. So, after getting all of your software in place, you either have a total of $0 or around $50 per month if you wanted to pay for these items. Still not bad either way you look at it. Lastly, we have to look at marketing. And while this doesn't have to cost you a penny, and I don't recommend investing in paid advertising until you're established and have a budget, it will cost you a lot of your time. So use it carefully. Let's check in on our budget, shall we? After the last 2 steps, we're looking at $400 on the low end, around $1,800 for the middle, and $3,750 on the high end of things. A few items that I didn't add that you should consider as part of starting your business is a laptop or a desktop, which, depending on how old yours is, can be a large expense. If your computer is on its last legs, you might want to consider a new one before starting the business to minimize any potential loss of data, client information, or disruption of work. While there are a ton of different price points for laptops, I recommend staying within the $750 to $1,500 range for a PC. I have found the HP brand to be the most reliable. Now, if you're looking at a Mac, then your budget is going to be minimum $1,200 to $2,000 plus. One thing to note is that you don't need one of the more expensive MacBook Pros if you're only doing standard VA work. That is more along the lines of heavy design or video editing. You also have to consider your internet, as that is now a business expense, and you should make sure you have reliable and fast internet. You can work out of internet cafes at the beginning if you'd like, but their internet isn't always reliable. You will also have to consider the added cost of your insurance, both home and health if you need it, and the difference and the benefits that you have versus not having them anymore. All of this brings the cost up a bit potentially. I'm going to break this down in a few different scenarios because not everyone is the same. Scenario number 1, low end, no laptop. Let's say that you're starting on the low end of things. You were able to get a great deal on your logo and you purchased a contract from a VA mentor, and you don't need a new laptop. Your cost should be around $400 to $500 depending on where you live. Scenario 2, low end, new laptop. Let's say that you were able to score some deals as well, but your poor laptop is on its last legs. Your cost should be around $1,500 or so, depending on the laptop you choose and your other costs. Scenario 3, medium end. Let's say that you splurged a bit on your logo, but saved in other areas, and your laptop can get through a few more years. Your cost should be around $2,250 to $2,500 when everything is said and done. Scenario 4, higher end, no laptop. Let's say that you wanted to invest now to save later, but you didn't have to get a laptop. Your cost will be around $3,500 to $4,000, depending on your location. And scenario 5, higher end, new laptop. Let's say that you wanted to splurge and luck wasn't on your side, or maybe you just wanted a new laptop. If we're looking at the higher end for everything, your cost will be around $5,000 plus, depending on your laptop and contract choices. Like I've said before, the cost will vary, but this should give you a good idea of how much it costs to start a business and where you can cut costs and take shortcuts. I will be honest and say that I only spent around $500 to start my business over the first 3 months, and it was the best investment I have ever made. If you enjoyed this video, then please hit the subscribe button below, smash that like button, and don't forget about the notification bell, which allows you to be the first to know when I post a new video. I create videos all about how to start your virtual assistant business, and I get very real about the trials and tribulations of being a business owner. You don't want to miss it.